welcome to Austin's X00 and another fantastic installment of my vlog. Today's a sad day. David Bowie, legendary musician, has died. But it's a pretty sad day, because actually his album Blackstar, which we now know will be his final album, came out, well, technically it's 3 days ago now, on the 8th of January, and today is the 11th, and David Bowie died on the 10th. Sometime between the 10th and the 11th. I don't know what the official date is. But we found out this morning. And it was sad. Because the work that he put into his final album, Blackstar, like, it was already a great album. If you watched records, it was the first records that ever scored a 100% from both of us. There's 7 tracks. We each gave each track a point for 100%. And it kind of takes on a different meaning now that he's dead, and now that you know that he was dying while writing and performing this. It's like a completely different album now. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, the songs, I didn't really know the meaning of them until now.
Yeah,
I said that a lot in records. I was like, I wish I knew what the song was about, but now it seems really clear.
Yeah, there were a lot of songs. Well, there's not a lot of songs on it, but there are 7 songs, and a lot of them, it was like you could, as I first listened to it, I was like, this is definitely about death, or about like retrospective, looking back at your life and fearing the future. It was definitely a very sad, crazy album. And we said in records that if this was his last album, that it was a great legacy to leave. And then that night he died. A lot of this album is very much about him having cancer and dying, we know now. His producer said that this was a labor of love. It was like a final gift to his fans, and that he was dying while writing this. And that's sad.
Yeah.
Like, that's sad as fuck. This is a fan-fucking-tastic album, before we even knew what it was about. And now you can hear in, like, every song. In Lazarus, he sings, "Look up here, I'm in heaven. I've got scars that can't be seen. I've got drama, can't be stolen. Everybody knows me now." And then at the end, he sings about how he's gonna be free, but just like that bluebird, ain't that just like me? And "Girl Loves Me," he continually yodels, "Where the fuck did Monday go?" In Dollar Days, he continuously repeats, "I'm trying to, I'm dying to," and "I can't give everything away." He's saying he knows something's very wrong, but he can't give everything away. So, he had to keep something to himself, and, what he was keeping to himself is that he was dying.
Yeah, I think the most direct song where he says that he's dying is Dollar Days, where he just says, "I'm dying too."
Yeah.
And like, I read those lyrics, and I'm like, oh, that's sad, like, he thinks he's dying.
Yeah.
He was, though.
And that's, yeah, because we were like, yeah, he's like 69, like, yeah, he'll be dead.
Like, his life expectancy is about 7 years from now. Like, he's gonna die soon. And yet it was 2 days.
Yeah. And just the fact that as he was writing this, he was having these feelings of, my days are numbered. I don't know what happens when you die. I'm not ready to die. But knowing that you're in pain, that your body is like decaying around you, is a terrifying feeling. And like, you can feel it when listening to this album, that he's not at peace with the fact that he was dying. You think?
Oh yeah, I think he had more to do.
Yeah, more that he wanted to do, more that he now never will do.
But I really think that he took everything that he could have done from now until when he actually did die and just put it into this album, because it's a masterpiece.
This is, yeah, I agree. This is his masterpiece. Like, this is one of the best albums. This is the best album I've ever heard. I have now, like, it's now official. Like, it is the best album that I've ever heard. It is my favorite album. And it was already that, and then more so today, hearing the news that he had passed away. But the thing that I can say about Blackstar that I liked, you know, that Blackstar was the first album that I had heard of David Bowie's. Well, the song Blackstar, you know, I had already known, like, Space Oddity, the song, and, like, Life on Mars, and, like, Heroes. But Blackstar was the first song that I really listened to that I was like, okay, like, he's got something going on here. And so I was highly anticipating this album, and while I was highly anticipating it, RJ and I did, and then showed RJ more David Bowie stuff. I don't know what the order is, but we have The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spider from Mars, which is a great album.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is probably one of his most famous albums, or at least the character Ziggy Stardust is. But what I would like to notice on the back, under all the production credits, it says, "To be played at maximum volume." Bella, I'll kill you. To be played at maximum volume, which I've been blaring Blackstar in my car, so David. Then you got Heroes, which is also one of his most famous albums and famous album covers. Which really, the only song that I know on it is Heroes. I haven't actually listened to this album all the way through yet, but I knew that I'm not gonna lie, we went out today and bought most of these at Best Buy or at other stores, because I think it's, you know, like, we realized how great of a performer he was, and now he's gone, and so you want to hear everything that he ever did, essentially. Next I have David Bowie Earthling, which I think is probably a very, I wouldn't say obscure, but, like, unknown album, because, I mean, it's not, you know, it doesn't seem like one that would be, it's not one that I'd heard of before, other than knowing his discography would be. So it's...
Yeah, no, it's not really notable.
Yeah. It's a very... I haven't listened to it yet. The only songs that I've heard on it is Telling Lies, which was pretty good, you know. Then we have one of my favorites. I'll do not one of my favorites. Nothing Has Changed, which is a compilation box set. 3 CDs. And it's a complete, like, retrospective of his, like, entire career. The CD is actually, I found out, is reverse chronological order, so, like, his newest stuff. Well, you know what reverse chronological means. But I remember hearing when this album came out, it was in 2014, but it was when this album came out that a lot of the reviews were how he's, like, looking back at his entire career, and, you know, he put this together. Like, he chose all of these songs on it, and it was also around the same time as his The Next Day album came out, and a lot of people were saying that he was like, he thought he was dying then, and, you know, a lot of the stuff on The Next Day is, you know, about him having these feelings of mortality, I guess. It had been 10 years since his last album when this came out, and I don't know, he's fucking fascinating. All of his music has been great that I've listened to, but of course I do think Blackstar is his best album. I mean, hands down. You can talk now.
I think for me it's too early to tell what his best album is for me, because right around when Zach showed me Blackstar, I listened to his debut album, Dave Bowie by Dave Bowie, and it was okay. I mean, it wasn't my favorite, but then I was just really fascinated with Blackstar, so I just kept listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought Blackstar was really good. I was just, you know, I think for every generation there's a David Bowie album that has influenced them.
Yeah.
And I think why a lot of people like Ziggy Stardust or Heroes, it's because that was the generation of David Bowie that influenced them when they were young.
Yeah.
and I think that's our Blackstar is that for us.
Yeah. And I think it's a very fitting farewell because it's very experimental, very strange, very much different than like Space Oddity, even, which is.
Space Oddity is a lot more tame.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And this was considered experimental, now, or at the time when this came out. Like this was. Yeah. Well, like this was a crazy.
To a lot of the
album.
other bands, like it wasn't that experimental. I guess to the music I listen to, but I mean,
yeah.
He's definitely different.
Yeah, he's a very different, strange man, but a brilliant performer. I also have the vinyl of Nothing Has Changed as well, which also...
And all of his shit is packaged so well.
Yeah, he loves good packaging, as he should. Like, his packaging is so great. I have some vinyls for the next day. Valentine's Day single, picture disc. Yuck. And then the Love Is Lost remix on where is it? White vinyl. That's nice. A little ugly, but. And then of course Blackstar, which the vinyl for some reason has an alternate cover. It's not really an alternate cover. It's just black on black instead of white, like the original cover. But
which I don't prefer.
Yeah. David Bowie is a fucking visionary. David Bowie is, I mean, like, musically, he is like a genius. Especially proven on Blackstar, especially on his like, earlier work. He was a good man. He was a good performer. And it was sad to, I don't want to say, like, we lost him too soon, because, like, he was 69, and I just discovered him. So I feel like that's why I want to say he'd gone too soon, because I just really started diving into his music, and it's... This is a very powerful album. This album is important. You know, it's very intense, it's very important, even before he died, but now, you know, what can I say?
I think you said it well.
So, David Bowie, you know, you don't want to be cheesy, you don't want to say we'll miss you, because you don't know him, but there is seemingly now a hole in pop culture, I think, now that he's dead.
It's kind of the end of an era.
Yeah, very much so. And he's... But what a tremendous... that's not what I meant to grab. What a tremendous farewell. I highly encourage anybody that's watching this to listen at least to Blackstar. It's a heavy album. It's very strange and eclectic.
I thought it was creepy at first.
Yeah, and it is.
It's creepy, but like now it makes more sense now.
It's more.
It just sounds like David Bowie dying.
Yeah. You know, I read a lot of articles about how he turned his death into one last, like, final art piece, and I don't think there's any better way to explain it. Like, this is the most, like, fascinating album that you will listen to, I think, because it's the story, the songs, the weird-ass music, the lyrics, the yodeling. This is a weird album, and it makes so much more sense now that, you know, he's dying. And I can't speak highly enough of David Bowie. You will be missed.